Hello again and welcome back to Wingot Play's Technological Journey. I've got to tell you, it feels very nice to have more than 2.5 stacks of aluminium sitting here. Though, I have just noticed... Oh no, it does seem to still be running. There you go. And not only that, there's another half stack in here and over a stack of aluminium ingots sitting here in our blast furnace output. And besides, I've already made 4 more MV machine holes. I did also go in and make a few more steam turbines so that these 4 can power basically this side and the blast furnace itself, and then these extra, 2, but there was already 1 here, so these 3 can then power all of these machines because they were really having a lot of power troubles. I have made another 16 copper nickel coil blocks as well, so all we're going to need now is a MV input hatch over here for our blast furnace, and we then should be able to throw a few LV hatches around and get a new blast furnace made and basically passively be making the aluminium ingots. We could also throw a couple of MV steam turbines in here to power that blast furnace, but I'll get all of that set up off camera, and then I think we can start working on our power in the rest of this episode. That said, I've ticked off the clay line there from last episode, and this here said query other automation. I've realized ore processing is something that we don't currently have set up and that I am going to want to get set up sooner rather than later. Though I do note that there is value in setting it up at HV because there is the 3rd output slot, which MV still won't give. So, and a lot of the useful outputs are in that 3rd slot. So it may be worth holding off the ore processing until HV, especially since the very next step is get into HV. But for the time being, let's get the blast furnace up and running. And the EBF is now all formed, just has various problems that need to be fixed with the wrench, soft hammer, crowbar, etc. So if we grab all of the tools from out of here, in fact what I can do, put away that zest, clean up my inventory bar a little bit, and then we can grab all of these tools. And interesting, no double ups, perfect, and pop back over and then see what we can do about getting this to work. So we of course want a wrench, which I think gets hit on here. No. Oh. Has problems, wrench. Right, you just have to have them in your inventory. The fact, of course, on the other side we used duct tape. But there we go. Looks like that should be ready to work. It's just going to need a MV steam turbine in order to power it. But we have a aluminium ingot drawer for the output, and we've got it automatically pulling in from these aluminium dust here. So it's got 4 stacks worth currently sitting in there ready to process, and all it needs is the power. So let's take a quick look. Steam turbine, we want another... In fact, what is that? That is a MV steam turbine. So we want a primitive assembler, which I don't think we have any of at the moment, which is annoying. We're going to need to make... Actually, what I could do temporarily is pinch this one. Let's just check though. What's the next thing? Biodiesel power. Perfect. So if we grab this one here, we can at least use that to here we go, to advanced steam turbine, and then we are just short a single. Well, let's dump all of these again back into there, and then we can of course grab one more. In fact, let's grab a few just in case. Some ender fluid conduit, so that we can put that here. Yep, we needed at least 2, and run that. Perfect. So that should be working. This should now be running. No problems found. MV. It's got power. And it's got a full input bus. For troubleshooting, I'm quite happy to use flying. Output bus, no. So if the output bus is there, that means that the input bus has to be here. Yeah, like that's full of aluminium dust. Why is this not running? Give me a moment while I try to figure this one out. And if we pop over to here, we should be able to see exactly what the issue is. There's a integrated circuit with configuration 1 that I currently do not have in the blast furnace over here. So if we grab that, we should be able to throw that in here and get it to start running. I even saw it take one as soon as we put that in there. So perfect. And put away that spare aluminium, and that should start going up in just a moment. If we go here, it's running at a decent clip, but it will get there. Perfect. Now let's clear out our inventory a little bit, and the next step is, of course, we want to, now that we are completely finished with the clay line and aluminium, we want to get biodiesel or at least some sort of power up and running. If we take a quick look here, we are going to need ethanol and ethylene for here. You can make diesel out of sulfuric light fuel, or alternatively, if we take a look at power, you can use diesel or biodiesel, and it seems to recommend that biodiesel is stronger. Diesel will require a lot of maintenance. And so probably if we do want to go biodiesel, I'm going to need to set up a farm, probably right here, for some canola. And the other option is we go diesel, and then of course we need methanol or ethanol. And empowered oil is will be nice. If you make biodiesel, you definitely want to be using empowered oil ASAP. It's much more efficient in almost every way, and offers a massive boost in the amount of biodiesel you can produce in a given amount of time. And then of course diesel or biodiesel, methanol or ethanol, empowered oil, biodiesel. And then we can use the biodiesel to power some advanced diesel generators, and that will then get us our MV power without having to continue utilizing this steam that we are producing, but interestingly struggling to keep up with when it comes to the input resources, which I still have not been able to understand. I think that you should be able to run one of these off of coal coke. Well, we were running one of these off of coal coke before, and this one back here I think is running purely off of creosote. I've got it turned off so it doesn't even get any coal coke. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's just we've increased the steam demand through all the various things that we're using. But yeah, we're not keeping up with the coal coke anymore, which is definitely annoying and something that we can hopefully recover by transitioning to biodiesel. But step 1 of biodiesel is, of course, we need canola. So let's take a look at we're going to want, I think, a farming station, which is back here in LVH, and to do that we're going to need to make the Z-Logic controller, and then we can make the farming station. Of course, the farming station is also going to require tools, which I, for now, will make manually, but we'll see what we can do about getting those replaced automatically, whether that's with some sort of a crafter or whether that is with Applied Energistics, which, of course, is the... Well, it's actually still a little bit down the track from where we're up to, unfortunately. But let's get to work on making, to start with, the Z-Logic controller. Silicon dust, we're actually producing that. In fact, all of this. So we need 2 solarium ingots. Yep. So 2 solarium ingots, which is 2 gold and 2 soul sand. That's very easy. We should already have everything that we need right here. So 2 gold, which is very quickly running out. 2 soul sand. We are going to need 1 iron ingot, and was that 4 redstone? No, it was 4 silicon dust, a zombie head, and a block of redstone. So grab 9 redstone, 4 zombie heads, no, 1 zombie head, and then 4 silicon. And silicon is, of course, one of the byproducts that we're producing right here. Lithium silicon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, and then that should be everything that we are going to need in order to make our first Z-Logic controller. Alloy smelter, throw those together, and create a block of redstone. Perfect. As soon as the alloy smelter is finished, we will then be able to make our Z-Logic controller. And then the next step, of course, is that we are going to need an LV machine hull, which I think we've got spare. So Z-Logic controller. Perfect, that one's done, and then may as well take a quick look in here. No rewards, okay. Then we are going to want 2, 1, 2, 3. In fact, we don't need 3, we need 2 because one of those is just the config circuit that is already natively there. We need a diamond hoe, which I don't think we ever made, so let's grab 2 sticks, 2 diamonds. And then, of course, we can get rid of all of this because we no longer need that for the aluminium. And we actually no longer need to make any more MV steam turbines, hopefully. So that's all good. We just need an LV machine hull, which I thought I had some spare. Maybe I've used the last of them. Or maybe yeah, okay. I'm going to need to process some more steel in order to get that. I definitely want to make some more steel while I'm at it. I will be back in just a moment when I have processed this steel into steel plates and made some more LV machine hulls. And that should be everything we need. 1 Z-Logic controller, 1 LV machine hull, 2 primitive processors, a diamond hoe, and I think it's set to 6. A integrated circuit set to 0. Borrow that out of there, throw all of those in, grab our integrated circuit. Also, I don't know why I have the prospector sitting in my inventory. That can go away. And then change this back to 8 because invariably that's what I will expect it to be set to in the future. And we have our first farming station. Now if we pop in here, like right into the middle, let's go there-ish, and then we can go grab... Oh, we are of course going to need a capacitor, but back here in the LV chapter, it gives us a free AA capacitor just for making it, which we can throw in there, and now it needs power, it needs water, it needs tools, and it, of course, needs dirt and canola spread around it. So let's get to work on placing those. Oh. Perfect, and then of course we just need to throw a bit of dirt in this 9x9 space surrounding that farming station. Great, now show me the range here, let's just check. Interesting. So the range is actually longer. Fine. May as well use this whole space for canola then. And let's dig a little bit more. Perfect. And we've now got a nice 11 by 11 space for our canola. Now, the next step, of course, is we need some canola seeds. So let's grab some canola seeds and then see what we can do about giving this thing some power and some water. Okay, throw some canola seeds in, throw some more canola seeds in. May as well split these up so that they spread out a bit. And then, of course, we want some sort of a power source and some sort of a water source. Okay, and probably the easiest option is I can fix both issues with using up one of the spaces, but then we can just input the water and the steam from the same input line. And then, of course, we just need to run this across in order to get access to. In fact, let's put that right there. Perfect. And I'm going to need to go through the floor and get access. In fact, for now, what we could do, just to get this running, is connect it on just like that. Perfect. And then we now have water and power. And this should be working as soon as we give it a few tools. Okay, and we should have everything we need to make a hoe, a set of shears, which we probably don't actually need, and an axe. Perfect, that should be all the tools. And we have our canola already being placed. And I'm sure the power will be fine. Perfect, and I will in future set this up to automatically replace the hose, but for the time being, I wonder if I can. For the time being, this will do the job nicely. I could always grab some bone meal to get this growing faster, but otherwise, I can also just ignore it and let it grow passively. Now, of course, we do need to do something about this output. Let me grab some drawers so that we can store the output and also put the output back into the farming station over there. Okay, we now have a drawer controller that is connected into our farming station, and of course the farming station will then extract to it. So as soon as we get some canola being fully grown, then we can look at getting this finished setting up. I wonder if there is a watering can. I don't see any, so the other option is we could possibly grab some bone meal, which I think we have some spare bones and bone meal there. Not all that much. In fact, let's take a quick look here. Pulverize, make 5. Okay, so you macerate that, and if we go here, throw in some bone meal. Looks like it's being used, and maybe, in fact, I wonder if I can just do this. Perfect. Now I, of course, got some of those into my own inventory. And then we can put some canola and canola seeds into here. Canola seeds already got ripped back out, and we can see them replacing. And then, of course, we're getting some actual canola as well, which I don't think we need, because I don't think the actual canola is all that useful. It can make canola oil, but I think the main thing we actually need is the canola seeds. So let's take a look at actually going, in fact, canola seeds can make canola oil, although it is a 10-to-1. Whereas with actual canola, it is 5-to-1. Now, of course, what we want to do is we want to use these two, well, in fact, canola oil can then be converted into refined canola oil, which can then make crystallized oil with crystallized canola seeds, which come from the precision laser engraver. And then that plus creosote can, of course, make empowered oil, which finally gives us access to biodiesel and glycerol. And glycerol was something that we actually want for ethylene. So that is, of course, a important step coming up. But let's take... give me a moment and I will take a look what we need to do to get all of these steps done so that we can try to work on getting some biodiesel. And it looks like with a full paddock, we are really producing canola and canola seeds pretty nicely at the moment. So let us work on converting that into diesel, as I said just a second ago, actually. Okay, and the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need 4 chemical reactors. And that should be simple enough to make. There we go. So 1 chemical reactor will make the biodiesel, 1 will make the empowered oil, 1 will make the crystallized oil, and then the methanol itself is also going to require a chemical reactor. I believe I'm going to need a 5th chemical... No, I'm going to need distillery. So I'm going to need a distillery, a fermenter, and the creosote oil we're currently producing in a coke oven. So 1 fermenter, 1 distillery, and that should hopefully be everything that we need. Oh, one fluid extractor. So a fermenter, in fact that's already there, a distillery, there. Why do I have the fermenter there? Oh, it's because I'm converting that canola oil. A fermenter, a distillery, and a extractor. Yeah, fluid extractor. Perfect. So once we get those 3, that should be everything we need. And of course, oh, we do have pistons. We are down to 4 primitive processes, and that is unfortunately not going to be quite enough. Oh no, we've got 6 more here. Fine, let's take a look. So we need 3 pumps, 1 electric piston. I've only got 2 pumps. We need to make another of those. That's just going to be a whole lot of tin, a medium bronze, which I don't currently have either. And unfortunately, we don't currently have this plugged in. So probably, I think maybe I should make 1 more MV steam turbine to get that back up and running. But we've got that. We need 2 more glass. And we need tin cable and LV machine holes, which we're using our last LV machine hole here to make this extractor. And if we do that, we can get started on producing some, what's that, basic chemical reactors, producing some seed oil. So I think arguably we are going to want to craft oil. We're getting so much canola that we ideally want to convert all of this into canola seeds, just because the ratio is so excessive there. But what I might do is I might put the diesel generation, maybe I'll put it back here, because it's all going to be LV tier. So yeah, if we put it here, then we can wire the diesel itself back into, well, wherever we need it, because we will then use it to run steam turbines on site. And I can probably even put some into an end tank and use that remotely as well. Anyway, let's go. Yep, give me a second. And so step one is of course going to be the extractor, which is going to go in here. But what I might do is I think I'm going to build another one of these rooms to put it all inside of. I'll see you in just a sec. And we now have our room for diesel production. So step one is of course we're going to be bringing in the seeds. So what I might do is I might actually pull everything back slightly from the wall because we're not actually going to be manually using any of it. So alternatively, what we could do is, just like over there, we could have them all sort of resting up here, power line underneath, and see them from the outside. That's maybe, yeah, let's go with that. So, basic extractor. Oh, did I? So I've put away everything over here. Okay, yep, we've got the extractor. So if we go in here, then we can throw the extractor right there, and the extractor will be able to run on seeds, which if we just pop over here, we can grab some seeds. What I might do though is I might move that over, because if I'm going to be destroying the seeds, well, not destroying, but converting the canola into seeds, then it's probably worth putting the, putting the crafter here and then putting the seeds into here. Why is that not working? Fluid extractor LV, LVT, oh, because it doesn't have power. Fine, so that's going to convert seeds into canola oil. Then the next step is we need a fermenter, which is, what do we need the fermenter for? The fermenter is used to make refined canola oil out of canola oil. Perfect, so let's take a look at getting a fermenter. Okay, and I think that should be everything we need to make the fermenter, except of course we still need more glass. I should probably just grab a whole stack of glass, because that's something I'm needing for apparently a lot of these recipes and keep running short. So grab our crafting table and a stick, make a basic fermenter. Perfect, and then that can go right there, and that is going to take our canola oil and make refined canola oil. Perfect, and then creosote oil we're bringing in from external. That refined canola plus crystallized canola seeds in a chemical reactor makes crystallized oil. So crystallized canola is a precision laser engraver with the canola seeds. So we need to, cool, we've got 3, we need 2 pistons and an emitter. I don't know that we've got an emitter anywhere. So let's take a quick look over there. We've got 2 pistons. I don't see an emitter. No, so I'm going to have to make that one. So emitter is a quartzite, which I think we've got some of that still sitting in here. That's the last one. Okay, fine. We need brass rods, which we don't currently have, but we've got plenty of brass. And we need 2 more processors, in which case I think we're just going to have the right amount. So if we pop over to our lathe, we can go get 4 brass rods. And then that's going to get us our emitter, which means we should be able to then make the basic laser engraver. So emitter, done. Basic laser engraver, done. And then we want to take the crystallized canola seeds and a glass lens, which is probably easiest to make just using this 6 flint, 1 diamond option. So give me a second while, there we go. So 6 flint, a glass I think it was, and, oops, oh, not nether star. Nether star, glass. Yeah, 1 glass and 1 diamond. Cool, so that should be everything we need. Throw that in, 1 glass and some flint, and then we should be able to get a glass lens. And I have made the laser engraver, so now we just need to pop over to here, throw down the laser engraver right there, and it can have a glass lens. Perfect. And then it's going to get the crystallized canola seeds. I probably shouldn't be removing these things until I have it set up, because of course we're going to need to set up all the wiring as well. But let's, so chemical reactor, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should be the 4 chemical reactors we are going to need to make the biodiesel. Now, give me a moment. I'll go grab... We're going to need another couple of LV steam turbines, I think, in order to power all of this, or potentially could borrow... We're not using this blast furnace at all, so let's grab a couple of these turbines, throw them into here to feed the power into these machines here, and then just grab some copper cable or tin cable to wire all of these up, and then I'll grab some item conduits and fluid conduits, and should be able to get all of this running fairly soon. Give me a moment while I get all of that hooked up. And there we go. After a couple of false starts, actually, have finally managed to get to the point where we are now producing ethanol and biodiesel. And we even have a tank here with 10 buckets worth of biodiesel in it already. And then there's a super tank up here, which is getting more slowly because the ethanol production process is rather slow. But effectively, we're bringing in creosote from outside, we're bringing in the canola, and we are bringing in over here rubber tree saplings. Apparently, we're also not bringing in enough power, but that, in fact, that will probably even fix it and remove our power woes. Perfect. We've got 163 plant balls there. The plant balls are being converted fairly slowly, like this is the big bottleneck of the whole process, but being converted into biomass. Biomass is then coming into our basic distillery and being converted into the ethanol. And then ethanol is being brought down into our basic chemical reactor. Ethanol plus empowered oil plus tiny piles of sodium hydroxide, which I don't... Oh, hang on. No, we do need those. I might have... I think I got rid of the system that was creating these tiny piles of sodium hydroxide, which is why there's 61 there. So I'm going to need to rebuild that, but that's simple enough. I'll do that off camera. In the meantime, though, we've got some biodiesel being produced, and that means we can start looking into getting some diesel generators up and running. We do, however, have an issue over here where the rubber tree saplings are running out very quickly. In fact, already have run out. So let's firstly go up here. That should be extracting on red. Fine. Where did that get an item conduit from? Oh, I see. It's because these drawers aren't locked, because when I set this up, I didn't have any drawer keys. So probably the easiest option is to just turn that off there and then grab our drawer key, fix these up. Grab that out, lock it, lock. There you go. There you go. So now all three of them can only receive their corresponding inputs, and even when there's some random materials being thrown around, they should not get stuck in, well, in the drawers. They'll get stuck in the crate back here. And obviously we need to put this sapling here. But as you can see, we've completely run out of saplings because we're converting them all to plant balls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically set up something like this, but for rubber saplings as well, or possibly for birch saplings, because we can probably use birch saplings to do that effect. And I tend to be a fan of the birch wood over jungle wood. The arcane beacon, the tree beacon, just is not keeping up anymore with our requirements. It was doing pretty well, but now it's going to need to be replaced. But that's something I think I'll do between episodes. For now, we at least have biodiesel set up. It's just going to, well, in fact, it's already out of saplings there, and so we're going to go through our plant ball supply. But that's a input issue. We can sort that out later on. We have biodiesel, and we hopefully can speed it up by putting some more breweries in place, or putting in an MV brewery to do this particular step, because this, as I say, is quite a bottleneck. We're also going to need the ethanol in order to make ethylene, I believe. The glycerol, biodiesel, I definitely saw something about ethylene requiring ethanol anyway, so there you go. Ethylene comes from sulfuric acid and ethanol. So we really want to upscale this part of it, the biomass conversion and the making of the biomass and the creation of the ethanol from it. But anyway, for the time being, we have completed today's project. We haven't yet got the power converted over to it, so we can't tick that off, but we at least have got biodiesel being produced, albeit slowly. And it does look like I've managed to crash right there. That said, hopefully we don't lose anything with the save. Thank you for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one.